guys! If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. I am currently 1 month into a 6-month road trip all over the US and Canada. I live out of my van, and this is really my first time traveling. So this is kind of a come follow me figure things out channel. And I make videos with my iPhone. So I wanted to try something new today, and I was really happy to see the response from everyone. I got this beautiful campsite, and I decided how fun would that be to do a campsite Q&A. So here we are. We're gonna do our first campsite Q&A. I got lots of questions, so I'm just gonna dive right in. So I'm gonna start with Snapchat because I want to apologize. I told everyone on Snapchat that if you sent me a video, I would play the video. Well, I've decided to just not do that because I film on my iPhone and it would be just an extra step, and I'm kind of short on time today because I gotta set up this campsite and leave. Jessica asked, do you feel lonely? I have gotten lonely, but just like a few times. It's not an overwhelming feeling. If I am lonely, I'll maybe call someone and just like talk on the phone with someone that I know. Just kind of reconnecting with friends and family back home is helpful, but honestly the loneliness has only occurred a couple times, and I'm actually surprised that I'm not more lonely. Gotta stay hydrated. She also asked, what do you miss about being in a house versus living in your car? Sometimes I miss all of it. Not being able to go to the bathroom whenever I want, and having a place to really like spread out. I mean, like, that's kind of the point of living in your car. You have to spread out in the world, like go outside to do it. But there have been a few times where I'm just like super tired and all I want to do is like take a nap. But napping in your car when it's hot out is basically impossible. So I guess those are the two main ones. Sally asked, are you taking visitors and are you going on Tinder dates? I've basically told everyone in my life, like, hey, if there's somewhere you want to go, you're more than welcome to join me. Now, I've had a few people express interest, and I've had a few people fall through already, and I have one concrete plan. So my best friend Nate is flying out to New York City with me, and we got an Airbnb. I am actually so excited for that, and I'm just so ready to like see someone from my old life again, back to like that loneliness. It just is gonna fill me with so much joy to see him and to spend some quality time with him, especially in New York City. So I am super excited for that. I'm just totally chill about it. Like, yeah, meet up with me if you want, and if you don't, I'm gonna be there anyway. So and then as far as like the Tinder thing, I never have used Tinder. I'm not much of like an online dater, but I do recognize that that would be a really cool way to meet locals and get kind of like, yeah, the local experience from a dating perspective. I got hair in my mouth. So would I do that? Maybe, but it's super unlikely. All right, I guess I'll go to Facebook. So Kathleen asked, what is something good that's happening on your trip that you didn't anticipate? Now that's a really good question. I am instantly more friendly than I used to be. It's nice. I mean, like, I'm alone like all the time. So suddenly I find myself being way more interested in others. And that's been really nice. It makes me feel a little less self-absorbed, and it gives me the opportunity to, I don't know, talk to people that I would never talk to normally. So that's definitely like the best thing that I really never thought about. Elliot asked, do you think you're a hypochondriac? No, but I think I used to be. He also asked, if the moon were made of ribs, would you eat it? No, because I don't eat ribs because I'm a pescatarian. Lindsay asked, what's your biggest fear? for the next 5.5 months. Either die or fail. Fail like I have to go home early due to like money problems, I guess. Or I just stop loving it. Because that would be disappointing. I really, you know, I've always thought of myself as an explorer, so like now that I'm actually trying it out for the first time, it would be disappointing if it wasn't for me. That would be terrible, because I'd like to think that I know who I am at this point in my life, or at least who I am right now. Francis asked, how many cats are used by the street performer during the sunset celebration at Mallory Square? For those of you that don't know, every night at sunset there is a art festival in Key West, and you can watch the sunset, and it's supposed to be really pretty. However, I am leaving Key West today, so I don't think I'll be going to that, and I didn't go last night, so sorry, Francis, I don't know. Okay, Instagram, JC4RL, aka Jackie for Real, asked, where do you shower? Well, if you can't tell, I just took a shower. I feel very good, very clean right now. I booked a campsite. I did use the facilities here to take a shower, but usually I am showering at Planet Fitness. I have a gym membership there, and they're all over the place. Allison 2.0 asked, would you rather have a little man inside your belly forever or have a bloated belly that never goes away? Well, they both sound basically the same, except one of them you have someone inside of you. So I would take the bloated belly. Sweet Root Minneapolis asked, what do you eat on the road? Great question. As of right now, see, I have like a whole, I have a propane stove, and I've got pots and pans and everything. I don't have a cooler. I'll make a video soon, you guys, about my setup. But my point is, I have the ability to cook. However, I have not cooked once yet. So I'm usually eating out 1 meal a day, which I'm totally cool with. I want to like eat local food. But when I am not eating out, I eat a ton of fruit. I'll buy juices from the grocery store. I get hummus quite often. Like last night I just bought like a container of like sliced bell peppers, and I just dipped bell peppers in hummus. And I'll get chips and do that too. And then I eat a ton of almonds. It's super like low maintenance eating. If anyone has any great suggestions as far as like eating without a cooler and what you guys would do if you're like living in a car. But the thing is, fruit, I can buy some fruit and it'll last for like a day or two, and then I only go to the grocery store, you know, every other day or every 3 days sometimes. Okay, now we're getting to the YouTubes. Samantha Renee asked, oh, she's got a lot. Okay, first question, are you camping on the beach? I am not camping on the beach. This is a campsite that is kind of like in a bay right off of Key West. It's about 15 minutes from like downtown Key West. Where is that? That's awesome. Thank you. I agree, it is awesome. This is called Boyd's Campground. It was, you know, highly rated. I really wanted to stay here because they had waterfront campsites. It's been good. Yeah, I really love this campsite. I would recommend it. They have Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi is no bueno. They have really clean showers, clean bathrooms. They've got a game area. They have a pool, really friendly staff. They have security, like if you enter late at night, you have to have like a code to get back in. Stuff like that. I would recommend it. Second question, if it's not too personal, how much money did you save before you left for your trip? Great question again. However, I already made a video talking all about that, so I will link it up here, up there, somewhere, and you can watch that. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video too about that, but I could talk about that forever. Third question, do you have someone to stay with at most of the locations you're going to? And if not, which other options are you using for housing, such as camping, motels, car, couch, surfing, Airbnb, etc.? Good question again. This first stretch I have had a ton of people to stay with. That is just by chance. But no, the majority of my trip, I won't know anyone in the areas. Or it'll at least get more spread out, just depending on, yeah, who I know and where. So there will be long stretches where I will be by myself, and I am kind of nervous and kind of excited to see what that's like in comparison to what I've been doing, which has been house hopping basically. Since I left, I think I've slept in my car maybe like 12 times, and I've been on the road for 33 days now. I've decked out my car to live out of and sleep out of, so the majority of this trip I will be sleeping in my car. However, a couple nights ago I tried to sleep in my car and it was so hot that I knew I was putting myself in a very dangerous position, which is why I am here and I booked a campsite. I am going to avoid paying as much as I can, so I will be utilizing couch surfers before I were to book a campsite, and I would definitely book a campsite before I was to get like a hotel or Airbnb. Another example is New York City. My friend Nate is flying out to be with me, and he wanted an Airbnb or a hotel. So just based on his wishes, we are getting an Airbnb, which I'm so excited to see because it's beautiful. So yeah, basically my goal is to not spend any money on housing, but I know that's not going to happen, and I'm gonna have to do it sometimes. Question from 318 from a fellow Mazda 5 owner. Cool. I was wondering how your setup is holding up, and do you have any planned future mods? Also love your vids. You have a killer sense of humor and a glorious smile. Thank you. Good question. I was actually gonna probably do a video about this too, because I've been meaning to do like a full tour with all my stuff, and I will do that probably in like 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks. How's the setup holding up? Not good, actually. My curtain situation is a hot mess, and I've just been like dealing with it every night. I just deal with it in a different way, whether that means duct tape or like positioning my belongings to cover my windows and stuff. But yeah, the curtains are like, they're killing me. I just need to invest like a day into just redesigning what I have, and I will probably be doing that when I get to Maryland, because I'll be there for a little while, so I'll have some flexibility in my schedule and I won't feel so rushed to get from one place to the next once I'm there. So yeah, other than that, other than the curtains, sorry, that's just a point of frustration for me right now, everything else has been really good. My bed is super comfortable. The temperature, you know, recently has been a problem, but I'm gonna try and get out of South Florida as soon as I can because of that, because it's gonna get expensive. And you know, some things are a little bit more of a hassle to get to, but honestly, the setup and like where I put what really makes a lot of sense for what I need. So all in all, like the build and the design and everything you guys saw in my last video about the car build, I'm still like super happy about. Rat Johnson asks, camping on a beach, does sand not get everywhere? Yes, it does. Have you ever been bitten by a crab? No, I haven't. Has homesickness been a problem yet? No. I've felt homesickness, but it has not been a problem. What is your favorite fish? To eat or look at? To eat, that's tough because I love a lot of seafood. I love salmon and I love grouper. Oh, and scallops. See, I could go on forever. Have you fallen asleep at the wheel? We won't tell. No, I haven't. I've gotten kind of close, but I have not. Usually that means I just stop at a gas station and buy something with sugar in it. Not usually caffeine, because I have to be really careful how much caffeine I have. What is the place you're looking forward to going to the most? That is impossible to answer, because when I think about my trip in a short term, there is usually one place that I'm about to get to that I'm super excited about. But then I think about long term, and then I get really excited about where I'm going long term. I'll answer the question and just say the West Coast, because ultimately I wanted to go west first, but I chose to go east first because of like weather reasons. But the West Coast was the kind of starting point for this trip, and I just want to drive from Vancouver, Canada, all the way to San Diego, California, and that makes me very excited. Are you missing anything apart from your family back home? My friends. Oh, and I know where to get good food. It's like always like a toss-up when I'm here, as far as like, ooh, I'm going to a restaurant, like, am I gonna like it? Am I wasting my money? I just don't know. But Minneapolis, I know backwards and forwards, so I always know what to expect. Is there one thing that Is there one thing that you missed and thought you, okay, I don't know, grammatically. He's asking, is there anything that I forgot to bring or that I wish I had brought? Yes. I forgot my towel for two, or I decided not to bring it and then I regretted it instantly. I have like a huge towel that's like made for two people, and all I have is like my old bath towel, and that's what I use on the beach. And then I have travel towels that I use for bathing. And I just really wish I had a kind of a bigger towel so I could stretch out a little bit more, but it's okay. Cynthia SG asked, what gave you the courage to go to put your trip idea in action? It was my trip to Montana that I took about 2 years ago. I had so much fun and I felt like the best version of myself, and I wanted to be that all the time. So it was Montana that kind of like made this like thing click in my head where it wasn't an option not to go. What keeps you going? It may be too soon to ask. I think it might be too soon to ask because it is only a month of travel that I've been doing this, but to answer, it is, if I'm ever like really tired or feeling a little burnt out, because I have felt a little burnt out as far as like the itinerary, like, oh God, I sure jumbled so many things to do into a very short span of time. But then I think about where I'm going, and that re-inspires me and re-excites me. Like, I had a really frustrating night the other night because I was trying to sleep in my car in Key Largo, and it was so hot and it was miserable, and it was just terrible, and I felt like giving up and just like saying, screw it, I'm leaving, the keys. But then I told myself, no, do the drive and see how you feel after. And as soon as I saw like the teal waters and like the trees and the clouds and the flowers and blah, 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 I instantly knew that I needed to stay and just book a campsite, because I just get inspired by what is around me. Chipmunk Man asked, do you enjoy camping, and how many times have you gone camping? I used to go camping with my family when I was growing up, and I always hated it because I have arachnophobia, and so my fear of spiders really controlled that. Also, I was a kid and I don't know, I was a brat. As an adult, I've only been camping 3 times. I went to Montana. I then went and did a camping trip in Wisconsin last October. And I did this campsite here right now. And that was actually the first time I'd ever camped by myself. And I set up a tent by myself, and I did it all. So I'm a little proud of myself. But I haven't been camping a lot. As an adult, I do like camping, but I'm still pretty inexperienced. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? Great question. Great question, because I know the answer like instantly, because I've asked myself this before. And if I could have any superpower, it would be to communicate with anyone, meaning speak every language and speak to every animal. And that is because it would make life so much more interesting and easier at the same time. I think it's a very practical superpower to have, but also like so frickin' cool. Okay, Go70 asked, I don't mean to ask any questions off topic, but here are the questions I have. What inspired you to create a YouTube channel? Andrea Debean is another YouTuber. Well, she's more of a photographer, but her videos were those were the first videos where I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do that. And granted, I'll never make videos as beautiful as hers, but I love how she goes from like toury, beautiful, like travel shots to like really casual vlogging. And that's kind of what I've been going for. I'm still trying to find my own personal style because I am new to this, but she was the first YouTuber that I watched where I actually thought about doing it myself. Then he asks, do you happen to wear contacts and or glasses by any chance? Because for some reason your eyes look very bright and sort of shiny a little bit. And if so, are you like nearsighted or farsighted? And can you also show a close-up of what it looks like on your eye as well as how you put them in and take them out? That is off topic, but that's okay. I do wear glasses, but I don't wear contacts. So when I'm not wearing my glasses, I just can't see as well. These are prescription. I am farsighted and I have astigmatism. And it's probably too bright to show you my eye right now, but there's my eye. Okay, I gotta hurry. Sil Wu asked, how did you pick where you want to go? Like, how did you choose from all the places? Why 6.5 months? I picked where I wanted to go just based off of the internet, like what I've seen on the internet, what people have told me is cool, where I have friends and family. Yeah, I don't know. Why 6.5 months? Basically, I left when I knew the weather would be not cold. Also, it gave me enough time to save money. And I'm returning home for my friend's wedding in October. What did people say when you started planning for this glorious trip? People said, cool, or you're nuts. You saved a lot of money, so are you budgeting what you spend considering what you have? Yes, I have made up a loose budget. I am going to be re-evaluating that now that I'm on the road and experiencing it. But basically, I give myself about $35 a day of spending money for food and fun. That doesn't include gas or anything like that. But so far, it's been pretty easy to do that. I've gone over budget many days and I've gone under budget many days. So I do need to sit down soon and see where I'm at. But last I checked, I was doing okay. How much money have you spent in your first month? Happy road month-versary. Aw, that's nice. How much have I spent? I'm gonna get back to you and make a video about that very soon. Where is the cheapest gas you've seen? I have no idea, I'm sorry. And what is your favorite place thus far? New Orleans. And are you coming to California? Yes. Aww. And then she says, I really do wonder a lot of things, LOL. Anyway, thanks for sharing your adventures. I feel like I'm living my dream through you. God bless you. Be safe and have fun. And that is the feedback that I live for. So thank you so much for watching. So Shania and Alana, my two younger cousins who I stayed with in Florida, asked me a couple questions. They asked, have the cops knocked on your door yet? The answer is no, they never have. They also asked where my favorite place was. New Orleans was my favorite place so far. How long have you been wanting to travel the US? And that is a good question because it hasn't been that long. It wasn't until Montana that I actually really considered traveling the US. I had always planned on, well, it had been on my bucket list to drive from Vancouver to San Diego for maybe 5 years. I just kind of like came up with that and decided I wanted to. But to really like see the whole US and to really get inspired, that wasn't until I went to Montana and like came up with this trip. Before then, I was really focused on going to Europe and New Zealand and Australia. But I've now decided that this is a really good starting point for me to learn how to travel, and then I plan on going abroad as soon as I can. So that is all the questions. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for everyone who asked me a question. This was really fun. I got to hustle and put my tent up, and then I'm hitting the road. So thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you want me to do more of these, and be sure to write any feedback you guys have or any advice you have from my answers, I guess, in the comment section below. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye!